Yeah, so absolutely excited to have Gabby, otherwise known as Daffo. I'm pretty sure I'm saying that correctly.
Yeah.
Uh, how have things been for you?
Been good. I'm a little tired. Got a lot of rehearsals going on right now for tour, but other than that, I'm just stoked to be making music.
Yeah, so I guess maybe the place I like to start with most folks is, what kind of music did you grow up listening to? What were your parents playing? What did you finally like kind of turn to once you kind of developed your own ear? And
Yeah.
how has that kind of influenced you now?
Well, my parents were, it was like the Beatles, Joni Mitchell, Bob Dylan, Neil Young kind of stuff. A lot of Bob Marley too. And then when it got when my sisters got older, I have 2 older sisters, there was no I was not allowed to touch the aux, so it was like my oldest sister had total control, and that was, like, Rihanna and Adele and, Alt J, and then, like, I I used to get their, like, iPod shuffles and, handed down to me, so
Sure.
with all of their music, like, loaded onto it, and I,
Yeah.
didn't have any money to, go to iTunes and, buy anything.
Right.
Um, and then when I was maybe, 13 or something, I got really into, the indie rock of the 2010s, like Porches, Frankie Cosmos, Angel Olsen, Blood Orange, um, and that was that was when it started to click. That's when I really started to love music. Um, yeah.
What was it about those artists and that scene in particular that drew you into it?
Well, I mean, my sister did introduce it to me,
Hmm.
so it was that, but then it was the first time I was hearing music that really, resonated with, me and how I was feeling, the way that they were saying things was kind of, different than the pop sphere. It was, maybe it was just a little bit more, I'm not trying to put pop down because pop could be really great, but it was just a little stranger. It was a little bit more, it just kind of cut through to me in a way.
Yeah.
And I remember hearing this Frankie Cosmos song, um, Embody, and just being like, "Oh, like, I wanna do this."
Yeah.
Like, I had been already writing songs, I had already
Yeah.
had a guitar, and I was, writing these, really bad, pop songs, and then I started hearing Frankie Cosmos, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I can
Yeah.
do this, this is cooler, I wanna do this."
Yeah, it's funny too when I listen through like your music. There's definitely it feels like you like embody all of these different types of genres. Like you have definitely there's like a folk piece. There's a little bit of punk in there. There's like indie in there, and I kind of love everything they've put together on your new album, Where the Earth Bends, right? And so I was listening through it, and it's funny. I always pick a couple favorite songs out of it. But I guess kind of to start, what are like the overarching themes of the album? What kind of went into it, and how do you feel now that it's kind of it's out? Geez, almost a month at this point.
Yeah. Um, I mean, I feel like it's a lot of, like, death. Um, and just kind of, my self-image, and also I mean, it's really just, a kind of a snapshot of, where I was at the time that I, was writing these songs,
Yeah,
just, the last couple years, just kind of, what I've been going through, and, I never really was like, "Oh, I'm gonna sit down and write a record about this." It was just kind of these were the songs that kind of came together, and it feels kind of crazy to have it all out now, because I mean, because the songs are so personal, it's here you go, like, this is
Right.
me.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Especially like anxiety inducing because like everybody's going to take it differently when they hear it, right? What it means to you won't mean the same thing to somebody else, and that's like the cool thing I love about music is everybody takes their own pieces away from songs and takes it their own way. So after listening through, I think it's funny, my two favorite songs are back to back, and they're songs called Quick Fix and Absence Makes the Heart Grow. Uh, I'd love just the story on maybe one of those and kind of where the writing came from on either of those ones.
Yeah, well, Quick Fix was definitely a hard one to write. I had been really struggling with writer's block for, like, a few months, and, I started writing that song. I wrote the first verse, and, um, I was, like it was at a point where I was just kind of, like I had just dropped out of school, and it was before I had gone on my first tour, so there was just a lot of, like I was just kind of waiting around. I was like, "Okay, like, this is the next chapter of my life, but I don't know what to do with myself." And I was just kind of, like, sitting around, like, smoking a lot, just, like, not taking care of myself. And then, yeah, I wrote the first verse, but I couldn't get anywhere with it, and I couldn't write anything. And then I finally went on the first tour, quit smoking on that tour, and then, um, like, got back and, like, was trying to write again, and I still couldn't write. And I got so frustrated, and I started smoking again. I just had 1 cigarette, and then I was like, "Oh, okay." And then it took me back to where I was, and I was kind of able to, like, kind of let the rest of it come out. But that one was it wasn't one of those songs where you just kind of, like, sit down and, like, it all comes out,
Yeah.
um, like, Absence was kind of like that. I think I wrote that song in 1 night. So, it's and then and Quick Fix took, like, months to
Yeah.
marinate. Um,
Interesting.
yeah.
Are you still smoking now? Are you officially off, or are we
I'm
off
back
and on?
off.
Yeah.
I'm back off, but I did smoke last night. So I stopped owning my own cigarettes, like,
Yeah.
I'm not buying my own pack. I used to smoke, like, at least, like, 10 cigarettes a day, and now I'm down to, like, 1 or 2 a week,
Yeah.
and that's way
Feels
better.
manageable. Yeah. That's it's definitely a better place to be in. My grandmother was like a pack a day lady for a very very long
Oh,
time. Yeah, so I can only imagine. It's very hard coming off of that type
yeah,
of But definitely glad we're down to one or two a week. That feels much more doable, manageable.
yeah. Gotta preserve the voice.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So this is your second studio album, correct? Or third?
First.
First. Sorry, you had an EP out,
Yeah, I
correct?
had an
Yeah,
EP.
yeah, yeah.
I have 2 EPs out, and then this
So
is my first full length.
in
Yeah.
terms of, the has your approach to writing music for these things always been the same, or has it kind of evolved over these, three longer bodies of work?
It's gotten harder
Yeah.
because it's gotten better, I think. On the first EP, I don't know, I wrote that when I was, like, 15 and 16, and that was just there was no expectations. I could do whatever I wanted. I just, like these were just some of the songs that I had written, and I was like, "These are the best ones that I've written right now, and I'm gonna make it with my friend," and it was great, and it was easy, and it was fun. And then Pest came around, the second one, and I had just, like, blown up on TikTok, and I was like, "Oh, now people are watching me. I like this."
Yeah.
And writing started to become a little less, internal. Like, I felt like it was just a little bit more stressful. I was like, "Okay, like, I wonder what people's expectations are gonna be." And then now, I feel like I have, I go to sit down to write a song, and I feel like I have all these other people sitting in the room with me. Like,
Interesting.
I, like, I've got the label, I've got the people that are listening to my music and have these expectations, I've got, like, critics, I've got my sisters. They've always been in the back of my mind.
Right.
I'm always just, like, worried about my sisters. Anyway. But I feel like the all of the good songs, all of the songs that actually come out come from the same place and always have, and they are always just, um I'm kind of, like, bursting with this emotion or this, like, idea, and it's just, like, so like, it has to come out. Like, there's just,
Yeah.
like, something in me that has to come out. I'm, like, picturing, like a weird ghost, like, kind of, like, being exorcised for
Right.
me.
Is
Yeah.
do you struggle with the voices or like the expectations of other people or things in the room? Is that a tough piece to handle?
Yeah, it is, I think I'm my own biggest critic, though, and I mean, ultimately, I'm making up all of these voices.
Sure.
So, um, yeah, it's been tough to, kind of let myself write in a way that's more it's less inhibited, um, like it used to be when I was younger. Um, so I'm trying to get myself back to that place. I'm trying to remind myself why I do it, and that always helps. I always try to let myself write a bad song. I always say, like, if you sit down to write, you have to allow yourself to, like, be able to write a bad song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of get the bad one out of the way to
Yeah.
kind of get it moving a little bit.
And also the idea that you're allowed to write a bad song
Hmm.
lets you just flow. Like, you
Yeah.
can sit down and, like, you're not gonna get caught up on one line. Like,
Sure.
that always happens to me. I'll sit down and I'll be writing, and I'm just, like, gnawing at this, like, one line, like, trying to get this one line right when I could have written, like, 2 other verses. And, you can always go back and fix it. But
Yeah.
if you allow yourself to, like, be bad, you can just move forward.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
that's an interesting thought to like to allow like I mean anybody, I'm sure everybody goes through it. Like we all fight with this I don't know. I don't want to call it perfectionist idea, but like the idea that we can't have bad moments or we can't do something that's not great maybe the first time around, but like learn, grow, and kind of you know allow ourselves to be human.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing. I feel like that's come around, especially with social media. Do you? So I mean, you mentioned a little bit about blowing up on TikTok. Has that social media piece been easy for you, or is it something that kind of happened by happenstance?
It just happened.
Yeah,
I and I'm so, like, lucky. It's just I posted at the right time of
yeah,
day, and, like, I was wearing a bright color, like,
right,
it was some kind of luck, and also, I guess, hopefully the song was good.
yeah. You got to put a little bit
Um,
of props to yourself. Yeah,
yeah, but now it's just kind of like it's definitely died down a ton. Like, it's just I've got the people that interact with my stuff, and that makes me happy, but, now I have expectations from the label to be posting more frequently, so I think it almost kind of cheapens what I post because I'm
mm,
posting so much, but, you know, it's it is what it is. You gotta do it.
yeah.
So
I it's funny. So I go through the same types of things, right? Where I feel like people are like, "Oh, like yeah, like you're so good at this." I'm like, I was lucky. Like I feel the same way. I feel like I was lucky. It was like, oh, perfect timing, like a right place, right time kind of situation.
yeah.
I think that I've I'm working on feeling like it's I'm cheapening myself by saying those things, right? And taking away from uh the talent, endearment, whatever that people
Hard
kind of
work,
gain. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I think definitely, I would assume, I don't want to assume for everybody, but I would guess that it was the song that did it for you, not the fact that you were posted at 8 o'clock at night or whatever, and it was, you had a red shirt on or whatever. I don't think that, I think that cheapens away from our ability. So in terms of wearing, indie artists or, even small artists nowadays wear 1,000 hats, right? How do you juggle all of those, and how do you find time to kind of ground yourself from it?
Um, well, I have a good team. I slowly built up just, like, the best people that are to have around me, and I feel so lucky, like, it's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
I met my managers, they, like, ambushed me at a show that I was, like, playing with. I was totally drunk, and it was, like, before the EP had come out, and, like, there were, like, 10 people there, and, they ambushed me at the show, and they were like, "We're managers, like, what do you want?" And I was like, "What?" I was like, "I want a record deal. I wanna drop out of school. I want, like, a career." And they were like, "Okay." And then, like, the next week, they got me meetings with people, and
Yeah.
they're the sweetest, most wonderful people, and so they really, really helped me, but before that, it was just fun. I just loved, like, putting shows together and, like, making zines and, like, just, like, being a part of that community. I feel like being a more of a DIY artist kind of, like, is grounding within itself. It, like,
Yeah.
connects you to so many other people because you have to be so in it.
Yeah.
You really have to get your hands dirty, whereas now, um, I've got my team, I've got people, like, booking shows for me, and I've got my record label, and now it's, I'm not as, a part of it all. I kind of get to just kind of sit back and focus on the music, but I'm about to start booking shows with my friend again and kind of yeah. I'm trying to get my hands dirty again.
Right. Yeah, was it one of those things that you got away from it, and then all of a sudden there was like this absence and you were unsure of what to do? The lack of
Yeah.
structure made it like
Oh, yeah.
impossibly hard to to focus. I go through that all the time. I feel
Yeah.
like if there's zero, if I have sit for a second and there's nothing happening, I like my mind wanders way too fast, and we spiral really quickly.
Yeah. Especially as, like, people that probably, like, make our own schedules in day-to-day life, it's just, like, it is tough.
Yes, I will lose hours at a time and not be entirely sure what happened.
And
That's
then
a
you feel
great.
so guilty because 'cause you're like, "Oh, I'm my own boss, like,
It's
this
the
is great," and then you're like, "But I'm going crazy, I have no
yeah,
structure." Yeah.
it's the worst. Yeah, it's simultaneously the best and the worst thing, because you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will 100% lose hours and just crush myself over it.
Yeah.
Uh, do you? So you're in a geez, in a couple of days you were off touring across the pond. Have you been touring over in Europe before? Is this first time, or
No, it's my first time.
excited?
Yeah, I've been to the UK, but I've never really been to the rest of Europe at all,
Yeah,
and this is, like, my first time really being out of the country is has all been tour, like, my first
yeah,
times in Canada and my first times in Europe, it's all, like it's all from tour, so it's cool because I feel so lucky that it's, like, bringing me around the world, but I'm also, like, I only get, like, 1 to 2 days in each location.
right. The struggle of trying to like find as much to do as humanly possible in
Yeah,
such a short period of time.
not
Uh,
burnout.
and yeah, I can only imagine. I mean, has burnout something that you struggled with before, or is it just kind of like a fear that sits in the back of your mind? The demon in the corner of the room.
Yeah, burnout is so real, especially on tour. Tour is tough on the body and the brain. Um, so you really gotta I honestly, like, I try not to do too many activities on tour other than, like, I'm not one to, like we get to the venue, I'm not one to be like, "Okay, I'm gonna go explore." Like, some of my bandmates will do that, but, like, I I'm just like, "Oh, I'm gonna lie down."
Right. I
I'm gonna,
respect
like,
that. Yeah.
mentally prepare myself to, like, talk to all of these people and, like, play a show.
Yeah, yeah. I respect the tour grind like so much more than I ever possibly did before. Like I'll go away for like 4 or 5 days. I come back like, oh, and then like you guys are out there weeks, just back
Yeah.
and forth, different cities. Like
It's always the 3rd week you're, like, out there, you start to just be like, "Oh, no. Oh, no."
Right. Just this existential dread of social interaction and driving.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't envy that position at all. So kind of a fun one that I try to do is if you had, three or four essential albums that you had, say you're like running a music class, right? And required listening for this class is like three or four albums. What would you pick?
Essential to, like, the world or, like,
To
essential to
to
me?
to you. Yeah, let's do to you.
Okay. Either or Elliott Smith. That's just my top or but also, like, From a Basement on the Hill is my favorite right now. Okay,
Yeah.
either or.
Okay.
First one. Um, I think Next Thing by Frankie Cosmos because it was just so formative for me, like, that was, like it's not often that you can find the one album that, like, really, like, was like, "Oh, this is me, like, I'm gonna do
Yeah.
this." So that record. Um, Rocket by Alex G, Pink Moon, Nick Drake. Do I have one more?
You could have one more. Absolutely. We can go five. That's not
I'm
beholden
just
to any
I don't if
any
I
rules
really
here.
sat down and thought about this, I'm sure I'd have, like, more concise
Right?
answers, but
Yeah. No, you're
now
fine.
I'm just, like, thinking about all these records are, like, slipping through my head.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm gonna stick to that.
Yeah. Great. Love it. It's such a interesting question because I feel like everybody's formative albums were like, it feels like insanely different.
Yeah.
It plays such a role, I think, into, maybe not always, but into the music you make. It's super fun for me. So as an artist and as one who tours, what are the most rewarding parts of touring? And I think obviously the most draining parts are we've kind of talked about are just touring in general. But if there's something else, what's the most draining part about touring?
I think the most draining part about touring is sitting in the van for hours. It is the relentless thinking that you do for like, it's not often that you, like, kind of sit in silence or, I mean, we talk in the van, but, like, we were
Yeah,
also, like, we've been around each other for, weeks at a time, and we're not,
right.
like, dying to, like, talk about what we did that
Yeah,
day, like, we're just kind of, like, all off in our own little world, and the most at first, it's, like, nice, you're like, "Oh, yeah, a long drive, it's pretty, I get to listen to music and think," and then after a while, like, I'm just like, oh, it, like, becomes, like, addictive and, like, fucked up in a weird way, like, just kind of, like, sitting there and, like, it's just you start to, like, have these, like you start, like, um, playing out scenarios in your head, and, like, it's what you do to
yeah,
pass time on a long road trip,
yeah.
it's like that, like, every day.
Yeah, it's your own weird like personal prison in a way. Like you're
Yeah,
just
it's
stuck
so
thinking,
weird.
oh my goodness.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was gonna say, like at first I was like, "Oh, yeah, the most draining thing must be to, like, like, play the show or, like,
yeah.
interact with people," but, like, no, it's the
It's the
most chill
it's the
part of the day is, like, the worst part of tour.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing worse than like a long drive and like you just get out of the car, you're just like, well, I guess I could go to sleep. And even though you've just been sitting
Yeah.
all day, yeah,
Ugh.
it's not fun.
Yeah.
What do you think what's the most rewarding part on the flip side of it?
I mean, playing the show, obviously, but also, like, every show, I always try to be at the merch table afterwards and just, like, meeting these people that you've, like, affected, especially,
Mm,
like, the kids,
yeah.
like, the teenagers, like, it's just I, like, see myself in them and, like, I see them, like, having this connection to my music, and I just feel, like, so full and, like, it reminds me not why I do it, because I don't do it for other people. I definitely selfish thing that I do, like, I do it for myself, but I, like, also I guess I write music for myself, but I share music for the sake of other people, and,
Yeah.
like, that just being able to, like, meet these people and, like, kind of, like, see, like, who my music draws in is also, like, a really gratifying thing because all of these people are so cool. Like like, the first headline like, the London headline show that I did, it was my first sold out headline show. I was really curious to see, like, what my audience was gonna be like, and everybody that walked in, I was like, "They could be my friend."
Right.
Like,
Yeah, that's
and
amazing.
it's just, yeah, it feels good. It keeps me going for sure.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, that must, that's so funny that just an entire room of just friends. That sounds really
Yeah,
cool,
everybody just
honestly.
looks like kind of like me in an alternate dimension, like, I'm like, "Oh, like, that person, like, I would wear that." Like, "Oh,
Right.
like, they're so I love that band." Like
Amazing. That's so funny. Um, what so, in terms of music that you've released, right, what song are you most proud of?
I think the best song that I've written is maybe Unveiling, but it's also the most tragic. Um, so that's, like, a really hard one. I think because that one is, I've never a lot of my songs are, kind of based on, like, an emotion and a feeling and not necessarily, like, a story. I don't do
Yeah,
much, like, storytelling in that way, and, um, I think I was able to kind of process my emotions in a way that I wouldn't have with that song. So I don't know that I'm proud of it. I think, I'm also really proud of Quick Fix, like, the way that I pushed through to, like, write that song. I'm really proud of Carrot Fingers, like, that song was I'm proud of myself for writing that song. Sideways was a fucking hard song to write. Like, it's
yeah, I
it's
mean,
hard to it's hard to
it
pick
sounds
one.
like it was a lot of processing and working through things, and yeah, I mean, I think it's perfectly okay to be proud of, multiple songs.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think what makes me proud of them is the fact that they've helped me to process things and,
yeah,
like, they're kind of, like, show me how I've moved forward in my life and how I've been able to kind of transform these emotions and these feelings and just I think what makes me proud of them is how hard they were to write
yeah.
in a weird way,
No, I think that
in a
makes
fucked up kind of way.
I think that genuinely makes sense. So,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, I love that. So I live my life in music curation. So I always ask, uh, give me an artist, a song, a project that you've really been into recently.
My friend Collie has this band called Superfan, um, and it's really good. There's this song called, it's what is it? My Desire in Food or something. Let me I wanna make sure I'm saying that right.
You're
I
good.
thought Your Desire in Food, and it's really, really beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
love that. So I guess in kind of in wrapping up, what can fans be on the lookout for? Obviously, you're going on tour. What else? What else would you like to kind of plug here?
I don't know that I'm allowed to, like, say anything.
Got it. No worries.
But, yeah, I'm just excited to be on the road and to see all of you people.
Love that.
That's so fucking weird, why did I say it like that?
You're fine. I love it.
I'm just excited to meet people, I'm excited
Yeah.
if you listened to this, then, you know that meeting people is my favorite part of tours, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
I love it. Well, thank you for taking time out of your day. I appreciate the time and the talk, and yeah, can't wait to hear more music and maybe see you in this neck of the woods.
Yeah, it was my pleasure, it was really fun.